Hello, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Americans who happen to love this country like we do. Please join us. Please be welcome to join us in the discussion about the unfortunate, disastrous shutdown of our beloved government. So anyway, be it big, be it small, that's a different issue, but at least you have to have a government that is functioning.
Yeah, that's right.
For a government failed to function for the past 16 days, how do you call it? How do you call it?
Well,
let's be creative. How do you call it?
Well, like, number one, it's irresponsible. It's
Yeah,
beyond
exactly.
irresponsible.
Of course.
It's
course,
in
yeah.
total disregard for the obligation they were elected to perform.
Oh, yeah?
In total disregard of that. But when I was just thinking here, I was seeing a hospital that when we're dysfunctional, we go to a doctor or we go to a hospital. This whole country right now needed to be in a hospital.
That's a good example. I'm so glad you really hit the nail on the head. Okay, now, we're talking about a hospital, for example,
Yeah.
right? Okay, now, you may disagree with your pay. Oh my God, I deserve a raise.
Yeah.
Right? I deserve a raise. You may disagree with your benefit, and you deserve more, you think. But the moment you have somebody on your table that you cut open already,
That's right.
sew it up. Come
That's
on,
right.
sew it
That's
up.
right. That's right.
Sew it up. That's your responsibility.
That's right.
Government being the unlucky
Yeah.
or unfortunate doctor or surgeon or nurse.
Well,
You cut it open already, you got to sew it up
over
before you can go.
my career as a CPA, when somebody wasn't performing, working for our firm in a proper way, then we had to let them go. And that's why the power of the vote might come back, and these people in Congress and in all the areas of leadership have failed. Everyone has failed to allow themselves to participate in letting us become dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And losing face all over the globe. We have
exactly,
lost face
exactly.
all over the globe.
Yeah. In other words, a surgeon left a
Yeah,
body that is cut open
they won't do that,
on the
right,
table to
right.
die,
And
to
they
bleed
did-
to die, or to whatever, to suffer to die. And they just
and they did it to us.
went out because they think something was unfair,
Right.
because they think they have a bigger issue.
Right.
So what is the bigger issue? Now let's see the bigger issue, right? Speaking of the bigger issue,
Yeah.
we're talking about Obamacare. That was a law already, right?
Yes.
As a lawful person, you go by it.
Yeah, you have to follow it. Well, it's a law.
Yeah, it's a law, right? Now you're talking about debt ceilings, debt ceilings. If you were not born yesterday, you should know that we've been living beyond our means forever
Right,
already.
right.
Forever.
And what I think has happened, Jack, and I'm very interested in you and what your viewers, we love viewer feedback. We cherish it.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
And
please.
by the way, if you do, send it to tellmydj@gmail.com. Tellmydj@gmail.com. So send it to us. We'll talk about your opinions. But anyway,
That would be appreciated.
Yeah, sure.
And then living beyond our means, it helps some people have some things that kind of help their life go along without maybe putting as much work effort into earning the lifestyle that the government is partially providing. And what's the impact of that? Buying votes.
Yeah.
Just buying votes.
Sure.
And then once there's enough votes to perpetuate that snowball, then the whole country's in trouble. And that's sort of where
And
we
the
are.
thing is that we know for sure that we've been living beyond our means for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And there was only one time during Bill Clinton's time, there was, only time we see something in black rather than red.
Yeah.
According to my friend, Mr. Drexel Smith, who was here 2 days ago, and he says that was popped up by the .com period. By the by the .com, whatever .com frenzy,
And
which is not a solid economy.
Right, that's not a solid economy, but it was also a part of that. Clinton was bright enough to cooperate and to really bring the two sides together.
Okay.
And the Republicans did a lot of
did
outreach.
function quite well.
And
yes.
right now we have 100% resistance to any cooperation.
The other side, from either side. Yeah, A against B. Anyway, now let's talk about it. So we confirm number one, Obamacare, they call it the Affordable Care,
Yeah.
is the confirmed the law already. Go for it. There's only way. Or you want to overturn it, follow the process as a Democrat
Right,
country
follow
will
the
do,
process,
Right?
right.
Now, number two, let's talk about the other issue that they used as the stock
Yeah.
to hold for the government shutdown is the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling reflects to a way of living. So we've been living beyond our means for a fact. So with the Clinton time being denied because that was the dot-com frenzy, was
Right.
not a true solid economy, and then living beyond our means is another fact.
There's no difference between financial planning for a government and financial planning for yourself. You,
Exactly.
You must, with the realistic attitude which you have, I have, you must live within your means.
Now, the only solution or only conclusion is that the government spending needs to be cut, right?
It does have to be.
It does have to be.
And people have to adjust.
Okay, the philosophy to me, I'm sorry, I may disagree with you a little,
Sure.
but respectively,
I love it.
Respectfully, is that we know for a philosophy the cutting is there, is inevitable, it has to happen
Yep.
down the road. That's for sure, right?
I believe so.
But does it have its own logic to go as versus a timing? In other words, there's a certain time you can't do it.
Well, in the times that you can't do it is when there's so much power on one side or the other side that disallows it.
Yeah.
Because
for
it
example,
can be done.
for example, I have a bad tooth.
Yeah.
And I have an infection. Doctor says I can't pull it out. It has to be pulled out.
Right.
Right. But now.
Yep.
Because you're running an infection.
Right.
Let me take care of your infection first.
Okay,
When
so-
the infection comes down, come back see me. I'll pull it out because that's the problem. Right.
Yeah. Right. You know, I had another idea yesterday, and that is this country has so much hidden wealth in energy that we're sitting on. And you know, when dot-coms are always talking about monetizing software and things like that, how do they make money off of it? If we could somehow address monetizing our gas reserves and our oil reserves and actually running them like a business rather than running them like
I know.
political options,
I know.
we'd do a lot better.
Sure. I'm very sorry to make the insertion because
Yes, sir.
I realize that you were talking about something else, could be a future revenue or income,
Yeah,
right?
right.
I am talking about now, let's first focus on the fact that even though with the given philosophy that the cutting down expenses is inevitable, it has to happen somewhere, somehow.
Yes.
It does have its own storyline.
It has
Does
its own,
it?
yes. It has its own storyline, and it's the
Doesn't it?
storyline though. The storyline keeps getting longer and more into the distance. We've talked about the horizon before.
Now with lots of pushing forces from all directions, the storyline may be shorter, but it does have a storyline. The storyline meaning that we are out of bad economy caused by the frenzy, right? By the pop economy.
Yeah. We're
By
not
the
in a
soap
good
economy.
economy, but we're out of the bad
By
economy.
soap economy,
Yeah.
right? Okay, now, we have two wars that we created for nothing.
Okay.
We created for no reason. One thing for sure, we spent a hell of a lot of money.
A lot of money.
We're still bleeding on that. Right?
Right.
Now, we're trying to revitalize our economy within as short as possible time. Now, do you think this is the moment to cut?
I think that's a great point. I think that your timing, you'd have to really evaluate the impact of cuts, okay?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
sometimes cuts can also create more jobs because there's more demand, more people are serious about working, and you know, the growth, what's going on right now is very nominal. The profits are good because corporations are operating on a very thin basis. We used to have a lot more employees per, say, dollar of revenue, if you looked at it for all companies, large and small. And so sometimes if there's cuts, it might create more stimulus for small businesses, which is the core of our economy. It's not the Fortune 500. That's who we've got to get stimulated.
All right, Ken.
So, but
Can
you're-
we
you're
come
right.
to one conclusion for this segment that even though the cutting is perfectly right,
Logical.
logical,
Yeah.
right? even though the Obamacare has its shortcomings,
Right.
right? Because that passed a law, that passed as a law, and the cutting because that has to go follow its own storyline. So would that be a better solution, or would that be a different page if they pick up another fighting point?
You know, if you froze the spending where it is, and then you were balanced henceforth, then you have more time. But we're not doing that. We're not achieving that.
No, that's what they're doing, right?
No, they're just, the debt continues to grow just at a slightly declining percentage of debt.
All right.
So,
okay.
but we haven't, okay, if right now everything that's in law to be spent, if we just do that and no more growth in spending, government spending, then we'd have time on our hands to work our way out of the debt crisis. But if it continues to grow, it makes it more difficult.
Yeah,
and our
sure,
population's not even growing that
like
much.
the news says this morning that they just push it down to
My unborn great grandkid.
yeah, like
That's
what,
right.
like along the schedule,
Right.
until the next havoc.
Right.
Right.
So the next havoc.
And then
No
that-
solution.
Yeah. Next havoc, and they redo it. In other words, they just kick the can down the road. Somebody will pick up. We don't know, right? So, okay.
You know, and if you can get rid of pork bellies and all these things that people put in, you know, that would make a big difference, though.
All right. Let's take another short mo out. We'll be right back talking about what will happen then at beginning of next year towards the mid part of February. So stay with us. We'll be right back.